Fun fact, at the age of 25, 50% of your eggs die, and around 30, about 90% of your eggs die. Considering it's completely taboo to have a child at the age of 17, which is actually biologically one of our prime times to bear a child. And you have to wait until you get a college degree or else your life is over. So realistically, you have a very tiny time frame from, say, the age of 21 to maybe 30 to really find a mate, bear a child, and create a family, whereas you have the next 30 years to build a career. Society sold us a lie. Stop chasing a career in your 20s.
She's not lying. Women think that they can do everything that a man can do, but it is all a lie. Society and social media tells women that they have the same amount of time as men, that marriage and having kids can wait, that they need to prioritize in getting a career, to live their lives, and we know what that means, screwing around with a bunch of chads, have kids after 30 and never settle for less, and that just sets them up for failure. Because by the time they are done with school and get a job in their career field and can finally say that they are ready, for most of them it is too late, guys. Because by that time they're like close to 30, they are set up in their own ways, with a high body count, and we can say that some of them come with a lot of trauma, plus they have the mentality that they don't need a man. And like she said, most of her eggs are gone, like 90%. And we all know that having a child by 30 plus is considered a high-risk pregnancy. But hey, if they don't care, we don't care either, is their body, right? And that's just one type of woman, the educated ones, and the other type are the ones that throw away their life by pursuing the 304 career. One example is through sex work, OnlyFans. Through the sexual liberation movement, those women live their life by selling their body for $6.99, or they live it by screwing around a bunch of dudes that they can't have. And by the time they realize, they're 30 plus alone, single and childless, or some of them end up being single moms because they had a kid out of the wedlock, or because they divorced their husbands. At the end of the day, most women believe all that propaganda, and like somebody said, when you lie, women buy. Anyway, guys, welcome back to the channel. Happy to have you here. Today, we are going to react to women crying and complaining that they regret the whole strong and independent movement. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Before we react to this video, guys, let me tell you that this woman right here is the same woman from the first clip, and she's going to address a comment from the one that we just watched. And the first two clips are fundamental, because we are going to see of what happens when women follow the false propaganda.
But all of my friends who prioritized having kids in their 20s are all now single moms at 40 and divorced. I got so many of these comments on my last video, so I'm going to touch on it now. Disregarding exceptional reasons such as real abuse, the fact is 80% of women are the ones ending marriages, 90% if they have a degree. Now, I've known about this statistic way before Jordan Peterson started popping off, and unfortunately, it was due to my own research because I saw how many of my female friends were leaving their husbands. I'm very tired of this victim mentality that has manifested within the female realm. It is hard for me to have empathy for single divorced moms when 90% of the time they are at fault for it. It is completely self-inflicted. I'm also coming from a place of self-critique because, believe it or not, just like every woman in America, I have succumbed to some of those thoughts. But we listen to social media and mass media and we tell ourselves that there's someone else there that's going to treat us even better, and we neglect the other party, which is our husbands, and then all the children that are involved as well. Oh, but let's not forget the vows you took. You cannot discredit my theory of prioritizing a family first and then working on a career, all because you have women that fall in that 90% category that left their husbands. Now just wait for this comment section to blow up on all the women that tell me they are the exception, that 90% are leaving because the men are so terrible.
She's 100% correct. So the first clip she said is that women should prioritize family instead of a career. And I guess she got a lot of comments from women who said, what about if the men divorce them or leave them for someone else? But statistically speaking, women are the ones to live. She said that 80% of women are ending marriages and 90% if they have a degree. And for what we know, women leave because of boredom, or because they say that they're not happy anymore, and women tend to forget that marriage is not about happiness, is about commitment. And I'm sure that a lot of women are going to say that women leave their partner because of abuse. But nowadays, everything you do or say is abuse towards women. If you say something that they don't like, they say that is verbal abuse. If you don't spend enough time with them, they take it as emotional abuse. If you don't spend money on them, they see it as monetary abuse. So everything is abused to women, and most of them love to play the victim, putting the blame always on the men. So now we know that women divorce for dumb reasons. So if they end up alone at 40 with cats, it probably is because it is their fault. Women won't admit what feminism has done to their life. They have the key players pushing it as the greatest thing ever for them. But the reality is it has harmed them beyond repair. Don't forget the toxic, jealous best friend who encourages it. Statistics don't lie. They'll even blame men for that. Impossible that 80% of these men abuse them. The majority are hardworking, good men they just bored with. My ex left me after cheating, then said it was my fault. These kinds of messages, and 90% are a fact, take very long to reach young women. 80% of lesbian marriages end in divorce. Men are not the problem. Is that right? Can someone let me know if he's correct? Leave your comment down below. The funny part is that when they hit 40, they push the younger generation to go in the same direction. They mislead them because they don't want to be the only ones. Before we continue, guys, I just want to remind you to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us.
I'm about to have a mentee B. I've never felt more confused about my life than I do now. I can't stand to look at my social media because I swear someone's having a baby, someone's getting married, and I just feel like I'm so behind in my life. I haven't been in a relationship for 2 years. Parts of me feels unlovable. I left a career that I hated for another career that I hated as well. I feel like a failure because I don't know what makes me happy. And all the jobs that would make me happy, they're just like, hey, you need 10 years of experience. I feel like my life has been a series of setbacks.
Wow. You can thank the women's movement. So here we have a woman that she's probably in her late 20s, and she's saying that she feels sad because she sees her family, friends, or just people on social media getting married and having babies. And she was not able to do that because she was too focused on her career. And she is saying that she doesn't even know what makes her happy anymore. Well, we all know that having a career is not going to make women happy. Having a family is what brings them joy, but for some strange reason, women don't want to accept that. And see how she left one career because she hated it for another one, and she left that one because she hated it too. So women tend to leave relationships, careers, and jobs based on how they feel, so if they're not happy, they're gone, which shows that women don't have loyalty.
And I'm just waiting for the day the universe decides to reward me back. I'm sick of feeling like it's me against the world. No one prepares you for the amount of friendships you outgrow. Watching your parents get older is so heartbreaking. I'm sick of comparing my life to everyone I see on the internet. The best way I can describe it is I'm sick of being an adult. I'm sick of having responsibilities. I'm sick of having bills. I'm sick of having a job. I'm sick of not having a job. I'm sick of dealing with life and all the nuances and the ups and downs. I just want to be a kid again. I just want to know what it was like not to have responsibilities, not to feel like there's just so much pressure on you all the time. It would be really nice to wake up one day and just enjoy the life that you've built, but we can't. Not in this economy, not with the way that the world is built and how we have to slave every day to just get by with our lives. I don't know if anyone else is feeling this way, but being in your late 20s is so hard. And I don't even know how to feel.
So, what happened with being a strong, independent woman? I thought that you guys didn't need a man. And have you guys noticed that women sound so ridiculous when they say that? I thought that having responsibilities like working and paying bills, it was normal for adults, but like she said that she doesn't want to be an adult, she doesn't want to work or pay bills. She just wants someone to come in and help her out with all that stuff. And who that could be? A man. But for what she seems, she doesn't want just any man. I mean, she's educated, and we all know that educated women look for someone with the same level of education and someone who makes more money than them, so they look for someone better than them. Because I'm pretty sure that she can get a nice guy, but she doesn't want the regular Joe. She wants the guys that she can't have, so let's just wish her a long, happy life with her cats. Let's just read some comments and let me tell you guys that they are hilarious, because they are blaming the universe for everything that is happening to them. Saturn return is hitting. It's your Saturn return. Someone told me everyone goes through a Saturn return, most around 28 and 33 years old, when you'll finally start to feel like yourself and better than ever. Looking into it made me feel better. 28 and 33? I think that they are just hitting the wall, if you ask me. I'm 33, and it's not better. There's no Saturn return. I think that they are just hitting the wall, but just imagine how women blame the universe for the stuff that happens in their life, and they base their persona on the day that they were born, is like if men would say, well, I don't shower because I'm a Capricorn, or I'm sorry that I didn't pay the mortgage because Saturn return is hitting me. Crazy, isn't it? Yes to all of it. Also 28. Been single my entire life. I live alone with my dog, a job I don't love, have 3 friends. Life is so lonely it's suffocating, and I feel so incredibly lost in this world. I'm 29 and a full doctor, and I still feel behind. I live at home, not engaged, and because of the path I chose, I have no friends, so no distractions from it. Life is so brutal sometimes. So I think that it is all cap when women come up on TikTok and say that they are living their best life alone and single at 40. So for what it seems, there's more of an epidemic of female loneliness than a male loneliness. But that's what they wanted, right? And I'm pretty sure that you guys have seen this woman all over TikTok preaching all that womenese propaganda. And what happens when women listen to women like her?
I do not accept a coffee or a walk as a possible date option, and neither should you. First of all, I'm not a dog that needs to be walked. Second, I have an espresso machine at home, works fabulous. We're not doing drinks either.
I started the egg freezing process. I did some preliminary tests which showed that my egg count is really low. And I know a lot of women struggle with this. I had a ovarian surgery last January, and I knew that I have endometriosis and I had like a giant cyst on my ovary, and the doctors told me that the doctors did tell me that that might affect my fertility, but we didn't even start like the actual egg freezing, so it still might be that my eggs are high quality, but there's just not a lot of them. It's just so sad. I've been like crying the entire day, and you know, people say like, oh, you're not alone, this happens to so many women, but I mean, it feels very alone. Lonely. I don't know, like I just feel this giant pain in my stomach right now.
And do you know what's so funny to me is that I have seen this woman before on a lot of podcasts telling other women that they have to leave their life before marriage and that they should have kids until they were 30 plus. And let me tell you, she was so confident when she was saying that. And I remember that some men were telling her that most of her eggs were going to be gone by 30. And that having a kid in her 30s was considered a high-risk pregnancy, but she didn't want to listen. And she was going back and forth with them, and I was like, why is she fighting against biology? Why can't she accept the truth? Even I know that having a kid at that age is risky for women. And look what's happening now, she's struggling. Most of her eggs are gone, and she's doing the whole freezing thing. And for what I know, that cost a lot of money. So should I feel sympathy for her? No. I don't feel any sympathy because she knew better, and she didn't want to listen. And this is what happens to a lot of women when they get older. They can't have kids. They can't get and keep a man that they actually like because they listen to arrogant women like her.
If there's anybody out there that wants to make me a stay-at-home wife, speak now. Speak now. Because I'm tired of this, Grandpa. I'm so tired.
And do you guys remember this woman? I think she's still looking for her person.
I want my person. I want my person. Why is it so hard to find your person?
So I was just placing an order online for some things at Costco, and the house is quiet, and it hit me. As I was ordering and looking at furniture and just looking at stuff that was on the computer, and all I thought was, I wish I had someone to love. I wish I had someone to share my life with, to buy new furniture with.
And this is the dark future that awaits to a lot of women when they get older. Even when they see this type of stuff on social media, they don't want to change, you know? They don't stop and say, man, if I don't change my ways, that's how I'm going to end up. Like her, alone. No kids wishing for a partner. But women high standards, rejecting the nice guys, leaving and divorcing the good guy, and wasting their youth with guys that don't want them is what is keeping them single. And I'm sure that she can get a man right now, a good guy, but she doesn't want them. Probably she still believes that she deserves the best of the best, that she doesn't have to settle for less. The womenese propaganda, social media, and other women tell other women that they can have it all, and that sets them up for failure. So should we feel sorry for these leftover women? Nah. Let them deal with the consequences of their own decisions. That's the path they chose. Well, that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching. Please be safe out there. And don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments section down below. And remember, the world is yours for the taking until next time.